Clap.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brats in the Back Row. I'm Allie,
I'm Emily.
And I'm Maylena.
and we are the titular brats in the back row of the theater, yapping it up again. We're here. We're no longer queer. It's the end of Pride Month.
We're no longer?
We.
Yeah, wait.
We.
We're not. I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this. It's
I.
it's
Yeah.
disability awareness or something. Pride Month.
Is that what July is?
July is that? Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's awareness or pride, but it's with disability. So shout out to people with
Okay.
disabilities.
Yeah.
We're like this
Yep.
because I have many.
It's one of those identities that, like, at any point in your life, you can, be.
That and
You
being
can become
gay.
disabled.
You wake up, you're all, wait a minute.
Being gay is a choice.
It's a choice. And you're not born with it. It's a lifestyle, alright? And it's a bad one. Never mind. Cut the cameras.
Pride is year round. Pride is every year, every day.
Allie has to do, like, what is it? It's like PR moves on us. Like,
It's like some sort of penance. Like every time I have to come on here and defend myself,
Yeah.
when I'm literally the diversity hire for this group.
you're the diversity hire.
Allie's the
I'm
diversity
balancing
hire.
things out here.
What?
Right on.
Right
Okay.
on. And right on, because I always forget to mention. But we watched 4 Weddings and a Funeral. We'll get back to that later. But since you mentioned that's Disability Pride Month,
What
do you
disabilities do you
remember-
have? Oh. And I can name them.
do you
Let's break the
remember?
ice.
What?
No, go.
Okay.
Oh,
do
it
you
is
remember?
called Disability Pride Month. I'm sorry.
Could you stop?
She went, would you stop? You know what I think about all the time, Allie? I think of you people. It's the way you said it. It makes me you people. It's like
Why not?
Daphne on Zombie Island when Fred has like the like is eating the food in the southern
Yes, I know
plantation.
this part.
It's the cadence Daphne has of go. It's like, stop being corny. It's like that cadence. Anyway,
I want to say you people like a lot to a lot of things, like as a joke, but I have to defend myself a lot on here, so I can't.
right on,
But
Allie.
it's one of my favorite little bits alongside selectively homophobic yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a good bit.
It's a good
selectively
bit.
homophobic. It's a good bit. Yeah.
Allie's not homophobic, no matter what jokes we make. Woke agenda, I don't know.
Anyways, Disability Pride Month. Do you remember in like November, December, Los Angeles was doing this like campaign on disability pride. They were like, disability's not a
Not a dirty
word.
word.
Yeah.
There is the billboard of it is still near where I live.
Yeah.
A
So they were
billboard.
doing all of that, and I remember we heard it on the radio when we were waiting for our movie to start. We went to go watch Wicked, and we were in your car listening to the radio. Yeah. And then we were like, that's cool that they're doing this. How about, making some ramps or stuff, making things accessible.
How about
to
like
the disabled?
actually like helping the community? Also, they do like the billboard of it says
Yeah.
disability, but it's like like it has like all these symbols.
It's not even. What is it? It's a disability is not a dirty word. I don't know why I thought it was like disability is not a slur or something like that. Because some people are afraid to say the word disabled, and it's like, guys, I think it's
Well,
okay.
yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, it's like let's actually get some things going on.
So, to our loyal listeners, that's your homework for this month. All right.
Making wheelchair ramps. Make.
Just do some research. Find out how you can, be a good ally to the disabled. Okay.
Thank you,
That's
Allie.
your
I
homework.
want this on my desk by next week.
And
By
then,
this time next week,
yeah,
you have
next
to be
week
number
we're all
one on
gonna-
life. You
We're
will
all
have
gonna
to
come together. You have to tell me what you learned and how we can all make the world a better place. All right?
And
we're gonna do that.
You should be going to every single one of your city council meetings demanding.
Oh, actually, on the topic, because we live in Los Angeles and we haven't mentioned this yet, but crazy things have been going down. I learned about an app recently called 5Calls, and it's like it has like scripts and stuff on there, so you can call your representative. And I think that's really
Nice.
cool. I want to start doing that. It makes it like easier. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that's another resource for y'all. I don't know why I'm doing this. Nope, it's a good thing.
It's okay.
Um,
it's a good thing.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Okay. What else? How are y'all doing?
I'm great. Life was so over for a little bit, but now we're kind of back. It's kind of...
We all kind of have like an insane energy right now, and I'm not super sure.
And I'm not happy
it
about it.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
What's one thing good that happened to each of you today? What's a good thing to do?
Oh, we're doing that?
Like,
Today.
fill your cup. What's good things? No, oh, Meg.
Oh.
Freaking out.
The only thing I've done today of note was buy the fucking Ringo Starr ticket.
That's a great
And that's
thing.
good.
And that's
And
a
we
good
were all
thing.
here for that.
We were here
Yeah.
Yes.
for the
Although,
listeners.
For the listeners, they're a little upset that I'm coming down to see Ringo Starr and not to see them.
No, you're seeing us, but the way
like
we
that
got
thing.
you down here is because of Ringo. And it's not even here. It's Las
We're
Vegas.
going to Vegas to go see Ringo.
She's going to Vegas. I probably will be going as well. I'm like 99% sure. But that
If Emily isn't,
1%,
I will go by myself.
and I'll feel
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, it's okay.
But I'll probably be going as well, which will be fun.
Yeah.
We got you for a full 24 hours, so we'll find something to do.
Yeah. You'll get me for at least 12 hours.
Oh,
I'm sure.
all right.
Well, because I'm not. When did you think I was flying in?
yeah.
Yeah.
She wait.
I'm trying to be-
yeah.
I'm trying to be conscientious of your guys' schedule too.
Oh,
I got nothing going on.
yeah.
That's
I
why I'm
don't
coming.
know. Because I don't know who's taking time off work or whatever to see little old me.
Oh.
Old me.
Oh, what did I do today? Well, okay, I try not to talk about this on the podcast anymore because I'm worried that my people I work with will find this. But my work crush gave me a little fist bump today.
Ooh.
And the wedding is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Boom. Oh, 4 weddings and a funeral.
Weddings. And then
And a
someone will die.
Oh.
Sorry. But yeah, I think this is a nice thing to say, but like seeing him does make my day better. So if you
Aw.
find this,
Does he listen to the podcast? Does he know about the
No.
podcast?
Does he
No,
know what
I-
podcasts are? We've
he
had
know-
this discussion that he may not all be there.
our friend of the pod, Jonathan, thinks that my work crush is not all there, and I think this is on me because of the stories that I tell. But
Well, yes.
You only
I
collectively
think
tell
that's
us
fine.
the stories where he's a little bit dim.
a little himbo-esque.
Yeah.
and I
Not
find
there,
it
not the
endearing,
sharpest.
and I think it's
Yes.
fun. I think it's funny. And I need to laugh every now and then. So, but yeah, that was my thing today.
Mm.
Woo!
My thing, I know this is my own rules, but I have a couple things, and they're all swimming in my brain.
All right.
Pick one.
best-
No. I finished Giovanni's Room today for the first time. I've never
Oh.
read it.
You've never read
I
it?
don't know. I just never. But I finally finished it. Oh my god!
Okay.
Almost. I don't weep at things, but a little tear came down, and I was like, "Oh, that's so beautiful." And I could
I
see.
like that you waited until Pride Month was over.
No, I started it when Pride Month was still here. But I'm a slow reader. So
100 pages.
it's 150, and I've been busy. All right, I got things going on. And you know what? Pride Month is every month, and it's a great book.
All year
It's
round.
All year round.
I posted on my story anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's wonderful. It's depressing
great book.
and phenomenal. It's so good,
It's
and it is a very quick read actually.
Yeah.
So yay! I finished Ginny Body's Room. I painted my nails. They're already chipped, but it's okay. And we as a collective, I talk about it everything, but guys, the interview with the vampire hyperfixation is so bad for me. It's genuinely awful. We got our first people we're walking by the set of the rock. He's a rock star, and it's so good, you guys. Anyway, Vampire Lestat is real, and I'm very excited.
Vampire Lestat is coming to a venue near you.
No, in Toronto actually.
Toronto. And we have to go to Toronto.
And I'm fine with that, and I'm okay with that.
I
Guys,
think I'd like to go to
Toronto.
Canada. Yeah.
Let's go to
Yeah,
I think-
Canada seems fun. I want to see Montreal.
I think it's because we've been listening to a lot of Uncarly and Girl Historians, and they're Canadian, and they really hype it up. I'm here for it.
I watched the Uncarly Wolfstar video while playing The Sims.
I did too.
I think last night or the night before.
Had at work.
And at work! So good. So good. I knew all the information. I knew it all. Except
it all.
But some of the older stuff I didn't know, but most of it I knew. But I was like, this is good. This is what I want to hear. The first Uncarly video I ever watched was the Marauders video, because I'm so intrigued by how that came to be.
It's
I
fucked
don't
up.
think
I
I ever
know.
watched it, or not watched. I don't think I finished it, but yeah, I have for a while now. I've had an inkling to read All the Young Dudes. I really want to. I've never read it.
You've never read it? I
never read it.
I'm not huge into fan fiction. I should say. I never had.
Well, it is 200 chapters.
People make them into books.
Well, I've been
really
I've
long.
been reading during my lunch break, so I look intellectual.
Wait, you've been reading it?
No, I've
have
just
all
been
fan
reading during
fiction.
my lunch break.
Yeah.
I've
No, yeah.
had my copy of The Starless Sea in my backpack, and I don't really want to.
Ah!
It's good, but I don't want to reread it right now.
I love that. That is probably my favorite book, The Starless Sea. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, because I don't want to be on my phone during my lunch break, because I feel like that makes it worse.
Oh, that's fair.
All of it.
I read.
Yeah.
I read during lunch
Yeah,
breaks.
I want to read. I've been wanting to go to the library to pick something up, a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm rereading. I started my reread of The Raven Boys because I read it a couple of years ago for the first time. But I don't remember a lot of it because Emily had a little mental breakdown. Not a little, big mental breakdown this summer. I read it and kind of don't remember a lot of it. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, let's go back in.
I remember I read the first book for, what did I read it for? I think it was for Battle of the Books. Did you guys have Battle of the Books?
No, what is that?
No.
Okay, now I
Nice.
feel like this was an Oregon thing, but it was basically just it was a middle school and high school, but I only did it in middle school. And you basically the committee or whatever, they pick a set of books or whatever for that grade level, right? So I think in 8th grade, sometime in middle school, we read Raven Boys because it's
It's a YA book. Yeah.
a YA book. So they made us read. So we had to read Raven Boys, and there's a series of questions for every book, and they're really minute, detailed questions to prove that you read the book and that you paid attention or whatever. And then there's competitions with the other schools in the area and their Battle of the Books
And we
club.
killed each other.
And we would kill each other, and whoever was the best one was the survivor. No, but you basically just it was just a competition of who can answer the most questions correctly.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the library has like summer reading programs, but like that was kind of it.
We
There
had
wasn't
like the STAR program. I don't know if you had
AR.
that. It was like a reading. It was like a comprehension thing where you had to like take a test essentially, and you can like go up in grade levels. But my teacher knew I not like up in grade levels, but like reading grade levels.
Yes.
And it was a weird thing. But my teacher was like, she had me read like the highest one, and I did like the test, and I figured it out, and she was like, "Yeah, I knew you could do that." And like, I was like, "Okay." Did you guys also had? I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like this, like online, like computer program where you had to read and answer questions, and the quizzes you would get points for, and you would decorate a treehouse with it. We had that.
No.
That sounds vaguely familiar. I know in elementary school we had the like AR program, and that was like the test.
That's the STAR program, or I think it was probably the AR program, Advanced Readers.
I think they're both right. I think depending on the school, like they had the different programs. But it's like I remember talking to Sam, who was my friend in university, about like how
University. College.
Sam,
Let's not give the school that much credit.
It's not much. I don't know the difference between them, but like
a university has multiple colleges in it. A college just has classes.
Just the one. Okay. Interesting. Fine. My friend Sam from college, we were talking about this, about how like elementary schools, like they measure your like literacy and your reading comprehension and stuff, but then later on, they stop testing that, and then like that's when people start like having trouble reading and stuff. Yeah, because we're not tracking where you are and like where you need help in reading and stuff. Which is interesting. Yeah, because in middle school and high school, like those English classes like get harder. Like you're not being told to practice your like reading comprehension. They just kind of think that that's
they think that you've got it.
Yeah, you're already done. Yeah. But it's like, no, people, everything's different.
It's like a muscle. You got to keep training it.
Yeah, we didn't have those like tests, like, or we didn't have any of those like programs for advanced reading or whatever. I think it was because I went to a private school, and so we didn't have to follow the laws of like
standardized testing
and system, so they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted. And like I remember that they made us literally once in like third grade or something. They made us take like a reading comprehension test or whatever to like see what grade level we were reading at in third grade. By the way, what's the point of doing it only once and then never again? But,
that's crazy.
That's all we did. Yeah, but then they got that data, and then they were like, "Okay, we're gonna do nothing with this." So it's like, what was the point of that then? Why did we waste? 20 minutes?
I remember I'm assuming all of you as well. If you had these things, you were placed in the higher like learning for the reading ones. I was, and I was placed. I remember it was always only with guys I was placed with. All the guys I like, grew up with, but I was like, there was no other like women present. But I remember we were reading the books. I remember distinctly reading in those groups were The Mysterious Benedict Society and the Penderwicks.
I love that book. Oh, yeah, Mysterious Benedict Society. I've never read the Penderwicks or Penderwicks. The
Penderwicks I think I like the Penderwicks more than the Mysterious, but I like both of them. But the Penderwicks, it was just like these kids growing up on a, like, not like growing up, but having a summer on like a farm or some cottage, and it was just like them living life, and I was like, this is beautiful. It's been years since I've read it, but
the only time I was ever separated and like in the class with based on like reading level or whatever was in 8th grade, literally 8th grade last trimester. So what was the point of this?
You had trimesters?
Yeah, that was also the thing. We had trimesters. So my life was fucked.
Because we had trimesters in elementary school, but after that it was like a semester.
Oh yeah.
They never cared. We had quarter systems.
Quarter is worse.
In elementary school, I didn't know what was happening. I was just happy to be there.
No, but my K through 8 was on the trimester system, so we were just doing that. But I remember 8th grade, last trimester was the only time I was ever separated to like read a different book from the rest of the class. And like it's not like I didn't make that group all of the other times. This was the first time it had ever happened. So, and then I don't think they ever did it again.
Well,
but I had to read what is the word? To Kill a Mockingbird.
okay.
Hey, is that what it's called?
It is To Kill a
Yeah.
Mockingbird.
Yeah. I had to read To Kill a Mockingbird. I was so upset that I had to read To Kill a Mockingbird.
You
because the
were
rest-
upset that you had to kill a mockingbird.
T-Cam.
Yeah. But I was so upset that I had to read that book because the rest of the class that was not as smart as me, I guess, I don't know, they got to read Rumblefish by S.E. Hinton.
Oh.
And then got to watch the movie after.
Yeah. And I wanted to read Rumblefish. To this day I have a vendetta against To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh my
You
god.
can read Rumblefish now. You're an
'Cause I was
adult with
forced
free
to read
will.
it.
You can read it now by yourself.
Yeah, but I don't care anymore.
But where's the spirit of it? we all go in AR programs. I remember high school. I just remember I have a vendetta against the book. In high school, I was in honors English because you didn't get into AP English until your junior year.
Junior year.
Yeah, but I was in the AP track, so they were like, "You're putting you in the honors class," and I was like, "Okay." And I was in honors English with a woman. I'm not gonna say the name, but she was so old. She was like, she had to have been 100. Like, it was so crazy, and all of us were like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? She told us, I have so many stories about, she literally, we had like a school shooting training, whatever, and she told us if there was ever a school shooter, it would be her. To a bunch of like 13, 14-year-olds.
Lord.
My friends and I, like Maya and Alfonso and I, we still talk about it because all of us were in the same class. We were like, do you remember? Like, that was weird, right? Anyway, and then she also told us how her 30-year-old daughter still lives with them and that she grounded her daughter because she went on a trip without her. Like, it was crazy. And the daughter etched her initials into the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Hey.
Nice.
All right.
And then she was like, her husband was like catatonic. Like, it was crazy. Like, the lore with this woman, her husband was on life support. And then we were like, she was like, I'm still keeping him on. We're like, girl, he has to die. Like, we gotta let him go.
His name.
Guys, what did you guys read in high school English?
Well, my book that I have the vendetta against, is specifically in that class is Great Expectations, which fucking sucks. That book sucks.
Okay.
I remember having a vendetta because she gave us a quiz on a chapter we haven't read, and and all of us also were like, either all of us were in band or drama because we were all, all in extracurriculars because we were all the smart kids, and all of us were like, I literally have no clue. So I just wrote joke answers, and I was like, I don't this whatever. She was also the only English teacher to ever give me a C minus. Not a C minus, a C plus. She gave me a C plus. My grade was 79.9. And I emailed her. I was like, is there anything I can do to raise it up to like a B minus or anything? And she went, nope, have a nice summer. And I went,
I'll kill you, bitch.
You will die. You will die.
I kill you.
And guess what, bitch?
Baby.
I have a degree in English now. So suck it. Yeah. We read Romeo and Juliet, as you do. We read To Kill a Mockingbird.
I never read Romeo and Juliet.
You never read Romeo and Juliet? Really?
I feel like that's the one you start with.
No, I didn't read Romeo and Juliet until, of my own will, by the way. I chose to read it by myself when I was like 20.
Wow.
Oh, was it for that Shakespeare class we took?
Wow.
You and I?
No. Well, no, with
No,
Yeah. Wilton didn't teach Romeo and Juliet in that
Oh,
class.
that's right.
He taught it in my class. He taught it in my class.
No, I've never read Romeo and Juliet for a class. I read it for fun.
Wow. That's crazy. I read in 9th grade.
Yeah.
We read To Kill a Mockingbird. This is ninth grade. We read probably no, we didn't read. Julius Caesar was sophomore year. We read.
You guys did Julius Caesar?
Yeah.
We did King
Oh.
Lear.
We did Julius Caesar and Macbeth.
Okay.
But we did Macbeth. I want to say it was my senior year.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
We what other things in my ninth grade English class? We were reading not all of the Odyssey, but parts of it, and
Oh, okay.
which is a crazy way to fucking read that, right? Like
We read the whole Odyssey.
no, she was like, we read stories from the Odyssey, and she did a thing called essay a day, where for an entire week we had to in class write a full essay on the short story we read the previous day for a full week.
Crazy.
So I wrote 5 essays that week.
I've never read the Odyssey.
Yeah, we had
I'd
to
have
read
to
the
do that
Odyssey in like 2 weeks. Like freshman year, so.
Yeah, just parts of it. I just remember writing about the Cyclops and being like, okay. We read other. I remember I hated Great. We read Great Expectations. I hated it because it's just so long. Sophomore year, I remember the ones I remember reading is A Tale of Two Cities. Because that was the big thing is you had to annotate every single page of A Tale of Two Cities. Because you were like learning or how to annotate or whatever, I don't know. But I liked it. I liked it, A Tale of Two Cities. I think it gets really good in the like last third. You're like, yeah, this fucks. We had to do like a thing where we got to choose from a list of books, and I read, oh my god, Catcher in the Rye.
Oh yeah.
Which I love. I love Catcher in the Rye.
See, Catcher in the Rye was also a book I didn't read in high school.
It's a good book.
I read it.
I read it a couple times actually in high school for like many different things.
Yeah. I read Catcher in the Rye for the first time like a year and a half ago or something like that.
It's a good book.
Like very
on it.
It's a very misunderstood book. I really like it. We also read we had to do like we had like summer homework as well. We had to read a separate piece before my ninth grade year.
I love a separate.
A Separate Piece is a crazy book, and I was thinking about rereading it one day because I remember reading it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm young, right? I'm only knowing about gay people. I'm not fully immersed, but I'm reading it, and I'm going, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
It was like, yeah, A Separate Piece was a big thing at my school because again, it was like an all-girls school, and the joke among like the other Catholic schools in the Portland area is that my school was where all of the lesbians were, right? Which wasn't wrong. Like there was a very high like queer population at that school because they all flocked together, right? So it was like A Separate Piece was a big thing at our school because they would have the freshmen read it every single year, and every single year the freshmen would make such a big deal about it because they'd be like, this is a gay book. Like they're very gay, and every year the teachers had to adamant and be like, no guys, they're not gay, they're just really good friends.
And then you read it.
Like not everything has to be gay or whatever. And like my year, we were like so hard on it. We were like, no, they are like actively in love. Like you guys are being insane.
I don't
like,
believe in this.
Yeah, it's not even subtext, babe. Like it is the text. Like they're in love.
It's crazy.
But because we were like, my class was so like.
Allie, are you reading the description of A Separate Piece right now?
I've never heard of this book before.
John Knowles. It's a crazy book. I'm reading it at 12. Reading it at 12, I was like.
Yeah. But I remember like because my class was so adamant about it, they had to take A Separate Piece off of the curriculum, so no one ever read the book again.
You ruined it for the rest of them.
But you got it, and that's all that matters.
I got it. Okay.
That book's so good. I want to reread it because it's so good. I want to see if it holds up. I'm texting Maya because I asked her, Maya, what books did we read our junior and senior year? Because I can't remember. I do remember we read my we read freshman year, the book by Chinua Achebe. Things Fall Apart.
Oh, Things Fall Apart.
We read Things Fall Apart my freshman year because Maya Well wrote fan fiction about it and posted it to Wattpad. And it is the #1 Things Fall Apart fan fiction on Wattpad as of the last time I checked. But that's been a while. But
I have a list on my phone of all of the stuff that I read because I would like see things. Because I would talk to people and I'd be like, "What did you guys read?" And they'd say things and I was like, "I didn't read these." I think I had a
not reading Romeo and Juliet is crazy to me. Like that isn't that's.
I feel like that's a basic that you start with.
9th grade is you start with Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, here's the full list of the books that I read all 4 years of high school, and then I want you to tell me how fucked all of this is. Okay, freshman year we read in order. I think no, not maybe doesn't matter. Freshman year we read Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare.
Oh, we read that senior year.
Yeah, we read it freshman year because my teacher was like, "It's the easiest one to understand," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." Anyway,
it is. I will say, side note, Much Ado About Nothing is my favorite Shakespeare play. Beatrice and Benedict is like everything to me.
They're awesome. Okay, so we read Much Ado About Nothing. We read Hotel at the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. Do you guys know that book?
No!
It's a great book. It's about, like, a Japanese girl and a Chinese boy in the 40s during World War II. And they're, like, best friends, but they're also kind of in love with each other. And then she and her family get sent to an internment camp, obviously. And then they, like, never see each other again. Not because one of them dies or anything. They just, like,
the war.
Lose touch. Because of the war. It's a good book from what I remember when I was 14. And then we also read The Odyssey and then a separate piece, obviously. In sophomore year, we read 1,000 Splendid Suns.
Never read it, but I do know what it is.
Yeah. This is also honors English, so I don't know what the regular English classes were reading.
Well, I was
also in the honors track. We read 1,000 Splendid Suns. We read Antigone. We read Othello. Yeah. We read The Things They Carried. Pride and Prejudice, and A Tale of Two Cities.
Not Pride. We never read any Dickens stuff. Any like women. Honestly, we never read any women authors.
Yeah. Well, a big thing about my school is they wanted to be very
woke,
white feminists.
Well, and yes, it is Oregon.
You guys are naming. Yeah, you guys are naming like literature stuff. Like,
yeah.
I was in honors in AP like all of high school, and a lot of the stuff you're naming is new.
Yeah.
Never heard.
Junior year was my least favorite year because there was not a lot of reading, but there was also a lot of reading. But also we had to read the fucking like. Do you know Bowling for Columbine? That one movie.
I know the movie.
Yeah, we had to watch that in class. I was so upset. Anyways, junior year we read My Antonia, Great Gatsby, The Awakening, which I hate. I have a vendetta against that book. We read The Scarlet Letter, which I also have a vendetta against.
I like The Scarlet Letter.
I do not like it.
We read
The Crucible, which I also have a vendetta
against.
I
fucking loved The Crucible. The Crucible was so good. I was like, we read The Crucible junior year, yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to watch The Crucible to like it, but I did not like reading it.
Oh, we watched it in class.
Yeah.
The Crucible.
Yeah, we didn't watch any movies junior year English except for fucking Bowling for Columbine.
That's insane! We watched The Great Gatsby.
We didn't watch that. I was like, it's right there.
Well, we watched a new one as well. We watched the Leo one.
Yeah.
I was like, it is 8 a.m. Why am I watching the school shooter movie?
Bowling for Columbine.
And then I also read Middlesex, which is one of my favorite
books. That's not George Eliot. No,
it's Jeffrey Eugenides, the guy who wrote Virgin Suicides.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's about the main character is intersex in like the 70s. It's a very cool book. And then senior year we read Beowulf, we read Grendel, Hamlet, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
What the hell?
We read Binti. We read Pride and Prejudice again.
Just again.
We read Song of Solomon and Frankenstein.
Oh,
You're
we
reading
read
so much.
Frankenstein. I remember we read. Okay, I don't know the years, but I remember reading Frankenstein. I remember
I've never read.
Oh,
Is that
wait.
great?
I read
I heard good
Frankenstein
things.
during a modern European history class. So it wasn't for English, but I did read that for school.
We read it. I think we read it
so
sophomore
good.
year. I think it was one of the books we had to read sophomore year. I remember Tale Two Cities, Frankenstein, Hamlet, Macbeth. I was also texting my well, who was in these classes with me. We read The Crucible and The Scarlet Letter junior year. Junior year, we did read, but junior year, the AP class is AP language and like composition, which is how you write papers.
Yeah.
And so it was more that than anything, and so we just read a couple books. We didn't read a ton. AP Literature, Maya and I were like, I don't think we even read in that class, which is like crazy. We read, Much Ado About Nothing. We read the entire book of How to Read Literature Like a Professor.
Why?
I don't know. I just remember reading it in like 0 period and going, what is happening right now? We read the first chapter of Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close and nothing else.
Okay.
We read the short story A Rose for Emily. Do you guys know the short story?
No.
A Rose for
I read it. I read it because I did when I was. Sorry, I'm having a stroke. Don't worry about it. When I was, when I had my bookstagram, I did a couple reels that did really good on like short stories that you read in high school that are like insane, and that was one of them.
A Rose is an insane short story. It's about this old woman who like lives in this house, and then I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but it was literally like her old husband's skeleton lives in her bed, and like it's like that's the twist is what I remember.
Yeah,
because I was just like,
it's a twist.
Yeah. We didn't read any of the short stories that you usually read in high school. I don't know what the fuck was happening at this school. I don't
whoa,
reading
That's
a lot
why
of
I was
books.
paying tuition.
Yeah, because I think in my high school we did a lot more short stories. I know in freshman year, everybody reads The Scarlet Ibis. It scars you. You
What?
move on. You grow.
What?
Do you guys know that? Do you guys not know The Scarlet Ibis?
we didn't
The
read
Scarlet
that.
Ibis is a short story about this. It told from the point of view of this older brother who has a little brother, and if I remember correctly, they called him Bug, and he's like disabled, like he's like can't walk or something, and I think the thing at the end is that like they're outside. There's a big storm, and he's like mad at his little brother, and so he leaves him behind in this storm, and he dies.
Oh my god!
And then he's just like, and I was
Hereditary.
guilty for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
And like
Yeah. You killed your brother.
brother, yeah, it's crazy.
and yes, that is crazy.
Yeah, we read that. Did you guys read The Lottery?
I read no, but I read it recently.
That was
I
crazy
didn't.
too.
I've never read any short story.
Ever? Wait a minute.
Ever?
I don't know what reading is. Teach
I
me.
I think we did like one Shakespeare play. Like it was usually in the spring, except junior year, because junior year was really about like American literature. We did
Yeah.
The Great
Junior year was
Gatsby.
big
We did
America.
Oh, we read a Good
Crucible.
Gatsby. Yes.
Yeah, Crucible,
Yeah.
Great Gatsby. We read Stephen King's book on writing,
Okay.
and that was fine.
he would know.
That was
He
and
does
we
a lot
did,
of it.
Doing
he
coke,
does
was
a lot
that what he told you to do?
yeah. He was like, and I did a lot of coke, and then I would write, and it was like, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm 14. We did The Things They Carry. That was like summer reading.
Yeah.
We did the Shakespeare plays we did were King Lear. I think we did Macbeth. Senior year we did Death of a Salesman. That's another like a little play.
Yes.
Um,
Arthur Miller.
Glass Menagerie. We read. What else did we do? It was a lot of plays. It was Death of a Salesman, Glass Menagerie. We read King Lear. We did a Shakespeare play, I think. I think it was Macbeth.
Yeah.
And
I know that.
yeah,
No, go. Go.
freshman year we did it was a Shakespeare. Well, it was one of the Shakespeare. We always did them in the spring because the theater class would have Shakespeare in the garden, and everybody
Oh, that's
hated it. But
cute.
all the English classes would have to go out and like watch the theater department do Shakespeare in the garden, and then they
That's
stopped
cute.
doing it. And I was like, "We're not gonna have Shakespeare in the garden," and I was the only one who was like sad about it.
You're all.
Yeah.
Everyone else was thrilled because they were funny. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they were not bad. But yeah, like I never did Scarlet Letter. My
Okay.
senior year we had to do our senior thesis. If you were in the AP classes, you had to pick a book and like do a report on it. And I did A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good one.
I
Mhm,
know that the regular English class, the Shakespeare book plays they read were, I remember they read Julius Caesar because
and
my
that's so
best
crazy
friend
to me.
because my best friend was in the regular English classes and she would tell me. But they read Julius Caesar and then immediately after they read Titus Andronicus.
Oh my
Hello?
god. It's
And
crazy.
that's all I remember. Which is a crazy play.
Oh.
I'm realizing that I've never read Macbeth actually.
It's
I
a good
can't
one.
remember Macbeth, honestly.
I've watched Macbeth, but I've never read it.
I remember the summer before sophomore year we read Oedipus Rex. And then when we got when we got to school, we read Antigone to like learn the other half. I guess I do remember my freshman year. So there was at my school, there's my old high school. There was a thing you test when you're an 8th grader. At the end of your 8th grade year, you go to the high school and you can test into kind of the higher up classes, and you'll either be placed in there's a thing called Heritage, where it's like your English and history classes are kind of combined, or you get tested into the AP track. And I tested into the AP track, but a ton of my friends also tested in the Heritage track, and so they were telling us about it. And the books I remember them reading was A House on Mango Street, and they fucking hated it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they're evil. I think they are.
Racist.
I remember reading. Oh God. What's the one where they live on a farm and
Animal.
not
No,
Animal
House on
Farm. No, where
Although-
it's and there's a man there and he's mentally disabled and they kill him essentially. It's a famous book. Let me get my Google out real quick.
You know what? Now that you say it, I think the Common Core classes at my high school did Animal Farm. Not the AP.
I've
or the
also
honors.
never read Animal Farm.
I've also
I never read
never
Animal Farm.
them.
Of
Yeah.
Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men. We read of Mice and Men.
We read of Mice and Men, and we read it in our freshman year. Oh, that's right. We also read my freshman year. We read part of On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I don't know why.
Okay.
We read of Mice and Men as well, but we read it before the Heritage track got to it, and so, but I thought they had already gotten to it, and so I was talking about it with them, and then I was like, yeah, when that one guy dies, and he goes, he dies, and I was like,
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because I had English earlier before some of my other friends, and just like going out to lunch, and we were like, oh my god, we just finished Of Mice and Men, guys, and like
Yeah.
spoiling it for them.
Curly.
I need to read Mice and Men. What
Oh,
the
Curly.
fuck? I know. I was the only one in my friend group that was in AP English, so I could say anything to them.
They'd be
and
like,
and they would not give a shit. Yeah.
anyway.
Anyways,
We've gone too
Book
long
club,
about
guys.
books. Book club,
book
yeah.
club.
First up, A Separate Piece. Because
Separate
that book was crazy! I remember reading it
I was
going,
just reading. I was just reading the summary, and hey, that's crazy.
It's crazy. I know.
it
I
was
need to buy-
good. I was like,
I need to buy another copy because I do not want to read the copy that I annotated freshman year.
oh god, I do. I want to see what I had to say.
No. Well, because I know that at that time I wasn't annotating anything fun. I was just writing whatever the teacher was telling me to write. So I know it's not good and interesting.
And for me, it's also like you're learning first how to kind of annotate as well. It's like you're getting into it. I need to know though. I need that book. I just remember them falling out of a tree, and it was like beautiful. Like I remember.
Yeah. I remember the pink shirt. That's a big thing.
I remember there was like a spiral staircase it was like Hogwarts.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
I've got to reread A Separate Piece.
I remember the first page. Yeah, I remember the first page. My teacher put a lot of emphasis on the first page. Just one, to teach us how to annotate, but two, because she was like, the windows are like straight and it's like hiding something, and the main character is like hiding something, and I was like,
and you're like, wait a minute, didn't you just tell me that?
This is the first page.
That's crazy.
I'm connecting some dots.
I'm connecting dots.
Oh my god.
That was a good.
Anyways, should we talk about the movie?
4 weddings and a funeral.
We watched a movie, I guess, and it's 4 Weddings and a Funeral, featuring Hugh Grant and Annie McDowell. Go Queen, give us nothing. I love you saying that.
Give us nothing.
Go Queen, give us nothing. Every time I bring up Annie McDowell, I'm gonna say Go Queen, give us nothing, because she really does. Go Queen, give us nothing.
She gives us nothing.
She gives us nothing. It was released March 9th, 1994. It was directed by Mike Newell and written by Richard Curtis. I don't know if you knew this, but Richard Curtis, 90s rom-com king. He wrote Notting Hill. He wrote About Time, although that's not the 90s, but it's a rom-com. Love Actually. He wrote Bridget Jones' Diary, like all of them.
Wow.
And Yesterday, the movie where the Beatles don't exist. It all goes back to that.
That's why there was so much John Lennon core in this movie.
I think I watched Yesterday.
Everything is kind of leading May to watch Yesterday.
Yeah.
You're gonna see that I've logged Yesterday on my letterbox, and you're gonna know. And when that day comes, I don't want you to ask me any questions.
I don't want to be told. I know what I've done, and that is it.
I don't want anyone to look at me when that day comes.
We'll ignore it. So in this movie, there's a group of friends, and they go to 4 weddings and 1 funeral.
Well, and that's not all of them. Go to
all of them.
Not all of them go to the funeral. That's true.
Go to the weddings.
Well, I mean, he was there.
He was there.
He was there. He was at a wedding.
He didn't go to the 4th wedding.
He can't go to the 4th one. He can't make it, but he's at the funeral.
He's at the funeral.
He's at the funeral.
The taglines for this movie are interesting. I just wanted to share them because they're dumb. One of them was, he's engaging, she's otherwise engaged. And the other one is 5 good... The other one is 5 good reasons to stay single. Alright.
That one's not as good. The funeral?
The funeral is...
You know why you should stay single? It's because the ones you love will die. That's what that's saying. Your gay lover is gonna die.
He's gonna die, so what's the point? Jeez, alright.
It's true. I mean, listen. And, like, it's the best part of the movie. Like,
it is. No, and it is.
Like, the whole eulogy he gives for his... Also, did they not know they were a couple? They were, like, talking after, and they were all, oh, I guess they were a married couple. Girl, they lit... What?
The movie itself is, like, okay. It's, like, fine.
It's fine.
You know, compared to, like, Notting Hill, this is okay.
This is okay.
But that scene itself...
Devastating.
It's devastating. It kicks you in the guts. You have to pause and think about where you are in your life. It's bad. Yeah. It's good in a bad way.
When he says he's my north, south, east, and west, I'm like,
oh, I was weeping. weeping.
terrible.
It makes the whole movie.
It really does, and it's so sad a gay
It's the
person had
only
to
reason
die
to
for
watch-
it. IRL.
IRL.
IRL, cause oh lord. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it because it's so tragic. Anyways, did you guys know that they filmed this movie in a month?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
They started filming on June 8th, 1993, and then they wrapped on July 14th, 1993. So it was a month, 5 weeks, 36 days of filming. And it's because the budget was like $6 million.
they
So
were
a
like,
lot
"We
of the
gotta go."
extras, we gotta go. A lot of the extras were asked to bring in their own suits.
Nice.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of fun facts for this. Hugh Grant, for his audition, he showed a video of him being the best man at his brother's wedding.
Well, that's fun.
Okay, that's fun.
And then there were other people who auditioned or who were considered for the role of Carrie. One of them was Marissa Tomei. Oh,
She
that
would have
would've
been
been
so
so
good at
good.
this.
She's been so
She
good.
would've
She
been
would
so
have
good.
given us
She would've-
something.
She would have given us everything.
I hope she
think.
has the accent she has in My Cousin Vinny. Still.
Oh yeah.
Just,
I can't do it.
New Jersey Valley.
I was gonna do it, and then I realized how bad of an idea that was.
Because she's like, what's the line that Andy McDowell does where she's "Go girl, give us nothing"? She's like, "Is it still raining? I hadn't noticed."
Is
That
it
would have been
still
Marissa Tomei.
raining?
Is it still raining? I hadn't noticed. That would have been Marissa Tomei, and she would have.
been first away.
That would have been Marissa Tomei. She would have
She
"Go
would've
girl" given
eaten
us
this
everything.
role.
Yes.
Give us everything.
He regrets not doing it, and well, yes, because she saw Andy McDowell doing it. And she was like, "Go girl, give us nothing."
Right.
Give us nothing.
What else? There was something else who was supposed to do it, but I can't remember. There was supposed to be backstory for like how the friend group came together.
Well, and that's
then
my
they-
question.
Well, they deleted it. It's
Oh.
a deleted scene
Of course they did.
because remember, we're on a budget. We
We're on a
can't
budget.
show
We're
the
on a
Did you watch
schedule.
it? Did you watch it? What did it? Who are they?
No, it's just I don't know, IMDb was like, here's a fun fact, and I believe them. Charles, Matthew, and Fiona all went to university together, and Gareth, who spoiler dies in the movie, was a lecturer. So that's how they all met.
That is
And then
crazy.
I think that makes sense that they're all like uni friends. Like that's cute. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Scarlett was found under Charles's kitchen table after a party and has lived there ever since, which also makes sense to me.
Yes.
This makes sense.
I thought
Yes.
they were siblings.
I thought
I
they
also-
were siblings too.
I think it's because and because they give siblings, but also in Notting Hill, he's in like a similar situation. No, he has a
Yeah,
sister,
he has that weird roommate.
weird roommate and the sister who's also like short haired, kind of
Same person.
same person.
Same universe, actually.
And yes, actually, I think who did I tell? I think it was Emily. We were talking about Notting Hill and Four Weddings once, and I was saying that like in both of the movies, Hugh Grant is like a side chick. Like
Yeah.
the girls use him to
He
cheat on
is.
their
It's
fiancé.
true.
No, Hugh Grant is playing the same character in both of those movies.
Both of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same friend group too. Like everything about these two movies is like kind of the same.
Except like the women, like in the
for the women.
circumstances.
Yeah.
And
like
I think
it's
that's
pretty much the same movie.
It's the same movie. It's because Julia Roberts, "Go Girl, Give Us Everything," and Andy McDowell, "Go Girl, Give Us
Go
Nothing."
Give us nothing.
Give us nothing.
Give us nothing.
Yeah, we hate. Do we hate Carrie? Yeah, well, it's because "Go Girl, Give Us Nothing." Carrie
Every
was
time you
goated by
say Carrie, I'm thinking of from Sex and the City.
Yeah.
oh, that's who it was. Sarah Jessica Parker wanted to audition for Carrie.
I was right. She was like,
Alright.
I know.
I know.
She wanted to "Go Girl, Give Us Everything," but we got Andy
Okay.
McDowell, "Go Girl, Give Us Nothing."
Go girl. Just every single time.
I need you all to remember, she gave us nothing.
I
There was nothing.
know. I think I know.
I know. You
Yeah.
think you know? Also, I just think it's funny. But she was voted one of the most annoying movie characters of all time in an online British poll.
Oh, Andy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Go girl, give us nothing.
Go girl, give us nothing. Take a shot every time you hear that. You'll die of alcohol poisoning. What else? Last fun fact, inspiration for this movie came when the writer Richard Curtis, he was flipping through some old diaries and he realized that he had been to 72 weddings in 10 years.
Oh my god.
72?
Which just makes me think, are British people getting married like really quickly?
Yes.
Why are we having... Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay. I had some
Yes.
questions. First of all, why are they all being invited to all of these different weddings?
These weddings.
They're all in the same friend group?
They know so many people.
Yeah.
You're not just like a fringe friend of like someone that you went to a wedding to. Why are you anyways? Also, they had such quick turnarounds for these huge massive weddings. It would be like 2 months later, wedding. 3 months later, wedding.
And it's the one specifically the one where they like hooked up at the previous wedding and then got married the next one.
4 months later.
That's crazy.
4 months later. And you had a big wedding.
That's why Mr. Bean sucks.
Because he didn't have enough time to practice. I think it was also
going to get executed.
Point blank at the wedding.
Exactly.
A red dot appears on Mr. Bean's forehead.
Please look out! Look out!
Look out! I'm stuck in cover! I said this in my notes, but I don't want any one of us to get married now, but I really want to go to a wedding.
You guys want to come to my cousin's wedding?
Yes.
Okay. It's in August. It's at the end of August.
I'm going to 2 baptisms this month.
Okay. That's not a wedding.
I know it's not a wedding. It's not a wedding, but isn't that crazy that I'm going to 2 baptisms in 1 month?
That is a lot of baptisms. Babies are happening.
I haven't been to a baptism in years, and now there's 2 of them.
Yeah. This is a weird time in our lives because everyone says that people you know are going to start getting married and having babies.
Yeah.
Everyone I know has neither gotten married nor had a baby. So I'm wondering,
we're not.
I know a lot of people that have gotten married and have children, or about to get married, or something of that sort. It's real and it's ugly.
Interesting, because it's like people from your high school. Nobody from my high school has had a baby or gotten. They're all out living life.
Well, none of the people that are like cool, like the cool people, they're like hell no. I respect. I'm with you on it, but like the people that were like, not like weird, but like conservative, are having
weird
weddings and everything. I was talking. Oh God! Back in January, I went to dinner with my friend Ethan. And him and I were talking about how everyone we know kind of is getting married, and he'd said somebody that we know that has been dating since high school is probably gonna get married, gonna get engaged next. And he's like, it's one of 2 couples, and we're just like, isn't that so gross? And we're like, yeah, that's disgusting. It's an epidemic. Epidemics are happening.
I know.
Weird.
Well, that got away from me quick. Hey, what did we...
Sorry.
Okay. No, because, like... And you're right. And say it. I want to get married, but not right now. We'll probably be going to weddings and stuff, like, later on in our 20s. Because we're also in our generation, like, people are getting married, like, later. And they're also just not getting married, so maybe we just will never go to a wedding.
No,
I also have this worry that I don't have enough close friends that will invite me to their wedding.
That's me.
Because I feel like a lot of people are doing like smaller weddings, right? Like they're not inviting like 200 people. So I feel like I'm not close enough friends with people to make the cut.
That's
why I want to go to a wedding so badly.
There's definitely 2 that I'm like, I'm gonna get invited and I'm going.
Yeah.
You won.
I got 1 person. It's Maya.
Me too.
I've
You don't
got
think
like one
Jonathan's gonna
person.
invite you to his wedding?
Oh, two.
Well, you have 3 then. Oh, I have 3 too then, cause my.
Who's your 3? I
Hi.
have
Maya.
I
Jonathan.
have 1.5.
Esdras? You guys don't think Esdras will invite? I'm going
Oh,
to Esdras'
Esdras. Oh,
wedding.
yeah. He'll invite us. You
Okay,
better.
so maybe I have 2, but both Jonathan and Esdras are the half.
They make.
Together they make 1. But I don't know if I would be invited to their weddings.
You'll be invited to Jonathan's. 100.
Would I?
Yes.
I don't.
I don't
Oh,
know.
hmm.
I don't know, guys. I never
If-
know. I never actually know, and this is a deep cut, so listen up. But I never actually know where I stand with any of my friends.
Oh.
Oh.
If not, you'll be my +1. Oh, May, we should get married in Vegas. You can go to a chapel.
About that last night.
You thought about going to the chapel and my grandparents got married in Vegas. And they're still together.
You know what we should do? We should crash a wedding.
Oh, we fucking
Oh,
should.
that would be fun.
We should crash a wedding.
What up, guys?
Doesn't even need to be in Vegas. We could just crash a wedding anywhere.
Anywhere we are. My
Where we want.
in high school, at a band competition, 2 girls in the band crashed a wedding instead of going to where we just sit down and watch the other bands. They left. They crashed a wedding that was nearby.
Nice.
I was like, that's crazy.
Anyways, I'm not sure if I would get invited to Jonathan's wedding.
I think you're
I
getting
don't
invited.
know if I would get invited to Ezra's wedding.
You're probably getting
I
invited.
can't.
Am I getting
speak for
invited?
that, but I am.
I think
Yeah, Allie is.
Allie is. I think if we threaten them right here, I want to go to a
you could
wedding.
probably ask
Let me
Esdras
in.
and he'll say Esdras is inviting anybody. He wants
Well,
to
I
witness
don't
his
want to
love.
ask because that just seems desperate.
Desperate.
You know?
Yeah. No, I
I
get
don't
it.
want to have to ask for an invite to the wedding.
I don't think people should get married young, but I think they should get divorced young. That's chic.
Yes,
That's
I think
fine.
that's so chic.
So chic.
I think that's so chic. I think a messy divorce is not chic. Like if you guys are fighting,
Oh no.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
it's like, hey, we're not
that's
for
not chic at all. But if it's like an amicable divorce, oh, very chic.
May, we should get married and then divorce so we both have a divorce under 25.
This is
divorce day.
who was it? Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera wanted to get married so they could call each other married and then divorced so they could call each other ex-husband, ex-wife.
Yes,
I think
very
we
chic.
you and I can do this. In Vegas.
We could do it in Vegas.
Oh my god.
Married and divorced the same day.
I'm fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage did it. Well, I think he had to wait 24 hours.
That's too much work.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's a long time, actually.
Going to the chapel. And we're gonna
Did I ask you guys yet what we thought about the movie? Do you guys want to do? Tell me what you thought
I
about the
don't-
movie.
I think it's fine. It's a fine movie.
It's a fine movie.
I don't want to be like. I don't really care about like Hugh Grant and Andy McDowell. I really care about this like gay friend group. Like I think that'd be so fun, like to be hanging out with at a wedding.
Yeah.
Like
And
they're getting
going to
plastered.
so many
Oh,
weddings.
I'm obsessed
going-
with the gay friend group.
Yes.
I think the movie should have been about the gay friend group.
really shut up.
I
Yeah.
think if you took Andy McDowell, who gave us nothing, out of the movie, nothing would change.
Yeah.
I don't think
No, and you're right.
anything would change.
No. Yeah.
Well, Hugh Grant might get married because the only reason he doesn't no, because also he gets married because she gets married.
Yeah,
maybe-
that's the only reason.
That's the only thing that would change. I think is he wouldn't
How
get
does
married.
she know these people, by the way?
That's what I was wondering.
That's a good question.
Another
That
thing.
is-
And that goes into my thing of everybody knowing each other well enough to be invited to their weddings. How
Well,
does she
England's a
know
small
all of these
country, you
British
know?
people
England
well enough
small.
to get invited?
Yeah,
It's cozy up
it's a
in
whole
there.
island. Everybody knows
But
everybody.
also, like, you would have thought if she's getting invited to all of these weddings and Hugh Grant is going to all of these weddings, they would have met before this. I know
Oh,
it's for plot reasons that they're meeting
I
now.
know we're
Like,
I know we're like cinema sins-ing this, but I'm confused.
I'm confused. Yeah. But I
It's
think we
crazy.
take Andy McDowell out of the movie, nothing changes, and then we focus on the gay friend group. It's so much better.
It'd be so fun. Like the wedding, yeah. I mean, they're just like hanging out, having fun. Like when he leaves to, they're all like piled in the car to go to the castle, but he leaves to go to the like hotel. I was like, oh my god, I would
with
kill.
them.
You
with
know that
them.
shit is gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
They're going to a manor to play Scrabble until dawn. Like I wanna be there.
That's fun.
That's
That
fun.
sounds fun. That's
They're-
my hey,
And
don't threaten me
you're
with a good
going to be a
time.
rebound for Andy McDowell.
Exactly.
Oh girl, give
Right.
us nothing.
Also,
Oh, girl,
the
this is
husband, she marries ugliest man alive. Like,
Yes.
Man. Old ass man.
old and
Ooh,
balding
I
and
it too.
ugly.
Ugly.
Also, that was a quick turnaround too.
That was
Because-
a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
She wasn't engaged or she hadn't met him at the
Yeah.
first wedding, but at the second wedding she's already engaged, and that's only 4 months apart.
Yeah. Why are we getting engaged and married so quickly? We have to
What's
slow
going
down the
on?
timeline.
They had to do it before Y2K. They didn't know what was going to
know.
happen.
Oh my goodness.
1994. They have a few years.
They've had
not
not
a
enough. TikTok. It's
Also,
crazy.
both Andy McDowell and Hugh Grant's characters, evil.
Oh,
They're
they're
both
so much. They're dicks. Like,
They're awful people. How-
especially.
How is Hugh Grant
Hugh Grant.
always late?
Oh my god, it pisses me off. It pisses me off
me
how
off.
late he is. I would stop inviting him to weddings or events or anything. Because if you're gonna be late and forget the rings to my wedding, you're done. We're never talking
We're not
again.
friends anymore.
We're not friends. This is a dick move. Oh my god, it pisses. I'm a person who's perpetually on time or early, and so
Also, because he was like the best man for that first wedding.
oh my god, he
It's
was.
your job to be there when the groom gets there.
And she's
Why
one
don't
of the
you go
bridesmaids
together?
at the second. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Her dress is also undone.
Yeah.
Walking down aisle, fully like underwear out, no bow. I was like, girl, you people
dropped
aren't
the bow
invited. Like,
What?
we saw. She drops the bow while they're running to the wedding, and she's
Yeah.
like, "No one will notice." Girl, we saw.
I know.
Everyone will notice.
We can see
It
it.
is a huge statement piece.
It angers me so much.
It angers me so much. Yeah. This movie just kind of makes me angry, actually.
No,
Now
yeah.
that I think of it,
We liked
I'm
it.
pissed as fuck.
I saw you at a heart on Letterboxd.
yeah, because unfortunately, one of the gay guys died, and that was the greatest scene in the entire
Oh, that's right.
movie.
Let's talk about the funeral.
The
pivot.
entire movie goes uphill after the funeral scene.
It does. It
Which
does.
is like,
It's
okay,
the
so
best
we had
part.
to kill a gay guy for this, but
Yeah, and I'm sorry
gotta-
about that. But you know, sacrifices had to be made. The movie had to get. I'm sorry. Wait.
Hello? Sacrifices have to be made.
oh,
It is July.
Well- Remember, it's the best scene in the entire movie.
It really is. Like, I mean,
really is.
and it is crazy that they're like, that nobody else was like, oh, they're dating. They're together. And it's like, guys, they live
No.
together. They're like, they're honestly the best domestic couple in this
Yeah.
entire movie.
They were in love.
And then he had to find
Without-
another
Without
gay
that
man.
know.
funeral scene, this movie would be a 2-star movie.
Yes. I agree.
That scene bumps this movie up like a 1.5 stars.
It's 12.
Uh-huh.
I do have actually a question, not about the funeral scene, but about May. what is your criteria for heart, no heart? Because every time I think you're like, I love this movie, there's no heart. And I'm like, what is happening?
I don't actually know what my criteria is. It's kind of just like a vibes based when I log it. Sometimes I take the heart off, and then sometimes I put it back on.
Okay.
It's kind of a vibe. You know?
Sure. I do actually know. Because I sometimes I give things like 3.5, but I put a heart. Because I'm like, I do love this.
Yeah.
But this is not that great of a movie. This,
Yeah.
or like 2.5, but a heart. It's because I had a fun time. But this sucks as well.
This movie sucks. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the funeral scene is the best part of the movie. We get the character Matthew, who is Gareth. Gareth is dead. Matthew is I think the heartbreaking thing about it is that the movie doesn't explicitly say, or like I don't know if Richard Curtis like meant to say that, you know, that these are gay characters, but they're definitely like queer coded. Like they are gay.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah,
No,
they
they're
live. I mean, there's like domestic
They live
bliss.
together.
Like,
Yeah.
There's domestic
In the
bliss.
opening montage, they're like disgusting and gross and domestic together, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so these are
And it's
gay people.
they're gay. But then there's the scene where Gareth is like, okay, I think we have to all start finding people to get married to, because this is like I want to go to the wedding of someone that I love. And he like dances with a woman, and so I was like, what are we hiding something here?
well,
I think that's just gay man, straight woman solidarity, babe.
Oh, period. Okay.
are we hiding something?
Well, because this is the thing. Like when I watched 2521, my favorite K drama, it's like those characters queer coded, but like you're not gonna say it because censorship. You know?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're very much
And, like,
a queer couple.
Yeah. It's a queer couple. But like there's something so sad also in the way that Matthew gets introduced, because he gets introduced as like a close friend when it's so much more than that. And sometimes when I watch they're lovers, sometimes when I watch that scene I wonder if he says he doesn't have the words, and part of it like could be just like grief, because when people die you just like what do I say, you know? Like the person I love isn't filling the space that they used to. But also part of me is like, is it because he can't explicitly stand
Yeah.
up there in that church and be like, this was a man that I loved and I'm devastated?
I'm assuming. I mean, it's probably both in a
Probably
couple ways.
both. Yeah. Yeah,
But it's the best scene.
it's the best scene.
But it's the best scene in the movie, and that poem is beautiful. I watched it on the plane back to the US after I went to Japan, and I just sobbed my eyes out. After I had watched Sing Sing. I had watched Sing Sing, cried
Brutal
my
double
eyes out.
feature.
Brutal.
Brutal. I don't know why I was like, I think the first time I watched Four Weddings and a Funeral, the funeral scene didn't get me, and I don't know if it's just because I wasn't thinking. But I watched Sing Sing, sobbed my eyes out, and I was like, let me watch Four Weddings and a Funeral. That'll cheer me up. And
well,
then I sobbed my eyes out.
The movie
Yeah.
with the word funeral in the title.
Yeah.
I watched this at my old job, and I was like, while I was doing work, and I was like watching it, and I'm like, and we get to the part where essentially he has a heart attack or a stroke or something of the sort, and I was like, this can't be where the funeral happens, right? And then I was watching it, I'm mouth agape. I was like, he dies.
It's also, his death is also worse because like all of their friends are in the room when he dies.
Matthew isn't there.
Except for Matthew! Oh my god, it's
Like Matthew is the last person in their group to find out, and it's devastating.
And he's having like a great time at the wedding. He's like, yay, having like fun. And then they're like, we have to tell you something. Dying at a wedding also is crazy. What do you do? What
do you do in that situation? Because also nobody else noticed that he like a man fully like collapsed.
Yeah.
And that it kind of adds salt to the wound, because Annie McDowell, Go Girl Give Us Nothing, her husband, who is it, Hamish. Hamish is giving his like really like his speech during it. Everyone's paying attention to him, and it's like no one is seeing that this man who is so important to these people is like fading away before our eyes.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
That's where it starts. I think that was it. Yeah, but that's how long did we talk about the movie for? Like 20 minutes?
Listen, there's not a lot. Like, there's a lot of John Lennon quotes, like in the or like John Lennon ideas.
I only caught the one John Lennon quote, and
there's the one quote, but it's also that first like singer songwriter like that's playing. He looks like John Lennon. Other things that are crazy.
I saw on my drive home, I saw a John Lennon bumper sticker.
Awful.
And the bumper sticker said "Give peace a chance," right? And then it was just his face.
No, that's not. I don't want to give a piece if he's telling me about it.
It was on a It was on a forest green RAV4, and I was like, "This makes sense."
And there we go.
This makes sense.
Other things that are crazy. There's like an incest plot, like at the end of this movie, that is just like.
It's kind of like snuck in at the very end.
And and then they're like, "We're together," and it's like, no. I know you're like very distant cousins, but cousins are still there.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I think the character's name is Tom, and it's like we couldn't find anybody else for Tom.
We can't just say she's just like a family friend. Like,
yeah.
Oh, we
like,
were neighbors
why did we
growing
have to
up.
make
That's
her
cute.
related?
Cousin Deirdre. Yeah.
Also, this ending is bad. This is a bad ending of a movie. Not like bad, but it's like a weird ending to a movie.
No, I think it's the worst rom-com ending I've ever seen in my life. It's, first of all, their kiss in the rain. I know it's supposed to be romantic. It's not romantic at all. Because Andy McDowell, Go Girl, Give Us Nothing. She's giving us nothing.
She gave us
She
nothing.
has that line, and it's so bland, where she goes, what, Charles says something about standing in the rain, which should be romantic, and she goes, oh, is it still raining? I can't tell. Go Girl, Give Us Nothing.
It's nothing. And Hugh Grant, you can tell that Hugh Grant is trying to, like, match her energy. Like, his intention is to match her energy. But because she's giving us nothing, he's also kind of giving us nothing as well.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
I haven't seen Andy McDowell in, like, anything else. Is this usually is she good? In anything?
The only thing, what else was she in? She was in St. Elmo's Fire. I don't like St. Elmo's Fire, but it wasn't because of her. I know she was in that one Netflix show with her daughter, Margaret Qualley.
I think
that's right. That is her daughter. I forgot.
That is her daughter.
They copy paste.
She's really good in that show. Yeah. I remember she was really good in that show. So I don't know.
Seen clips of it. She just didn't like them. Like, Andy McDowell, why did you Go Girl, Give Us Nothing?
She was in Ready or Not, Groundhog Day, Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
She was in the remake of Footloose, the 2011 one. She was in Muppets in Space. Muppets from Space. Who does she
yes. I think she's like the news reporter, isn't she? The one that Miss Piggy replaces.
Maybe.
That's the only other woman in the movie, so.
She also has directed she's directed a film. It's that's coming out or has come out. It's not even a film. It says 2 minutes, directed by Andy McDowell. It's just called Godfather Jaden Smith Remix.
What the fuck?
What? Is it like a commercial?
Political and economic state of the world right now. Jaden Smith is a future teller.
The fuck?
I don't know, guys. I don't.
Really beautiful. What else happened in this movie? There's a long extended scene where Andy McDowell, Go Girl, Give Us Nothing, is listing all of, like, her old boyfriends.
Her flings or whatever.
All of her flings or her affairs or whatever. She gets to 33, which I think is, like, a reasonable number.
I don't think it's
like
bad.
I don't I don't think that's a bad number. I think that's perfectly fine for, especially for like a woman who's like single, she's like in her early 30s or whatever, living her life, right? But Hugh Grant is so like, why is he
Offended.
so flabbergasted?
Yeah, and he's like, I've only had 9. Maybe he's just like, I wish I had more.
I think
I don't
so.
know.
I think it's also that thing that they keep making comparison to like British and American people in the movie because American people are so like scandalous or like out
Yeah.
there and like British people are more conservative. It might just be that.
Well, yeah, they do call her a slut at the beginning of the movie.
They do.
Oh, that's right.
But I thought it was weird. I was like, 33 is not a crazy number, guys.
It really isn't.
Because I think she said she started having sex at like what, 14, 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
So it's
Yeah.
not crazy.
I guess not. Yeah. I
Who's
don't
to
know.
say?
Go girl, give us nothing.
Oh, girl, give us nothing.
Go girl, give us nothing.
Go
Well,
give us nothing.
on that note.
I think that's all for today, friends. We are follow the YouTube Brats in the Back Row. Give us a like, comment, and share. I guess I don't know. Tell us if you think Annie McDowell Go Girl gave us nothing at our Gmail bratsinthebackrow@gmail.com.
And tell us, do you think May and I should get married in Vegas? 1 for yes, 2 for no.
1 for yes,
I don't
2
know.
for no.
I don't know.
What? And Morse code out here. We're sending signals.
Follow our Instagram at Brats in the Back Row. We're on TikTok at BratsPod. We're on Spotify at Brats in the Back Row. You should follow us and like our episodes and leave little comments because we, as you've heard, we love to read and I want to read what all your thoughts are on this movie. And do we think Andie McDowell is a bad actress? I'm genuinely like, I'm confused.
I need help. Guys.
Is this normal for her? Let us know. And yeah. That's all for today.
Next week is
whose turn is it?
Sarah.
Sarah?
Yeah.
So.
Sarah.
Oh yeah, Sarah's not here. You probably know this by now. But we will watch her movie next week. Goodbye.